Hello, welcome to Haluva. This is our new show, not another dreamy story. Ooh.
N.A.D.S.
My name is Jason, and I stole the cookie from the cookie jar.
My name is Greg, and I'm the one who put it there, and I'm pretty upset about it.
And here's how the rules work.
Okay, so we've changed up a few things since the last time. We figured out that some things weren't working as well as we wanted them to. Instead of having 30 seconds to incorporate the event into the story, we now have 45 seconds. And instead of incorporating an event to start the story, we're just going to have like a free-form start, and it's going to be a minute long. You're going to have a minute to flesh out the story. And the ending used to be somewhat of an event card, and you had to incorporate it, and it's now also free-form. For those of you that didn't watch our first video, we take turns telling pieces of a story and try to incorporate an event into the story. We pick a scenario, what the story's based around, randomly. We have these cards, and we shuffle them up and choose one. During the actual rounds, we have two lifeline cards. We have a skip, which allows us to skip that event, and if we didn't feel like we could fit it in. And we have extra time, which adds an extra 15 seconds. Used to went from 30 to 45, and now it's 45 to a minute long. A minute long is quite a bit of time to do whatever you need to do to get that event card in there. So to start things off, we're going to flip a coin to see who's going to start the story out.
Tails.
Tails? And it's tails. You want to start or end it?
Just end it.
You're going to end it?
Yep.
Alright. The finisher. Okay, and I'm going to shuffle up these scenarios right here, and then I'm going to let Jason choose one, since he likes choosing other people's cookies. Alright, and I'm going to read it. Scenario is, you are homeless in a big city. One day, you are approached by a mysterious man who offers you an opportunity to get your life back on track. The only condition he has is that you have to take care of his newborn baby for the rest of your life. And you can't say no.
That would have been a short story.
That would have been a very short story, and also very mean.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to write each other's event cards, and then we're going to shuffle it so they have no clue what they're going to get next. And we're going to be doing that right now.
Alright, and now we're done writing these down, so we're going to shuffle them and then hand each other the respective stack of cards. What's going to happen next? No one knows, but I know because I have to start the story. And I really don't know. So.
Now,
winging it.
To give us a little bit of advantage, while the other person's telling the story, we can flip our card over, give us at least 30 seconds of a head start to figure out how we're going to implement our random event into the story.
Correct.
And whenever you're ready.
Okay. So, begin. You're homeless in the streets of an unnamed big city. You're doing your daily life, just living, barely getting by day to day. You see some food scraps on the side of an alleyway. It's near where you have your makeshift shelter at. And so you get it and you start eating it. A mysterious man starts walking down the alley, and you notice him, but people walk down the alley all day long, and it's usually no one good. So you just keep eating and mind your own business. But the man approaches you and he starts to talk to you. So you look up at him and you listen. He gives you an offer. He says that he will help you get started, get back on your feet, turn your life back into something good, with one condition. So you look at him thinking that it's too good to be true, and there has to be some terrible thing that he wants you to do. He asks you simply to watch after a newborn baby for the rest of your life until they grow up and it's time to send them on their way. Reluctantly, you still think it's too good to be true, but what could hurt in trying? You accept.
First thing you need to do to take care of his kid, he gives you a roof. So you go to the house he tells you to go to. You get there, you get settled in. It's quite nice. Mansion, beautiful, gorgeous. A couple days go by and you get accustomed to this house. It's secured. And one day you're out getting groceries, you know, for a little baby, and you come back, the door is kicked wide open, and you look in. You're sitting there thinking, someone must have broken inside. So you look for all the materials that you think that could have been taken, but you couldn't find nothing. What could they have taken? You ask yourself. What is so important that they would kick down your door and then walk in your house?
As you start to look around the house, you get this thought in your mind. What if they took the baby? So you run upstairs to where the baby's room is. You bust open the door. The baby's still there. She's crying, she's scared, but she's still there. You're so happy, but you can't think of what they might have took or done while they were in your house. But you turn around and you see the mysterious man standing in the doorway. And you ask him, what is he doing? He just simply says, I'm just checking up on you, making sure. You okay? You say, yeah, I'm okay. Ditto.
And you tell the man, I'm glad you're here. I want you to experience my parenting 101. So you turn around to give the kid the talk. And you know what I'm talking about. That's right. Sleeping in your own gosh dang bed. Because you're a grown man and that baby didn't come out of your woman. Or out of the stork. Sorry. So you give this kid a talk and it's like, I can understand you, kid. You know, you just gotta go with the flow, stop crying. Then you realize you're a hypocrite because you can't understand it, so you know it can't understand you. So you give up and get it some milk.
In order to not have your house broken into anymore, you decided to hire a bodyguard / nanny for the kid. You had a nanny before, but she wasn't also a bodyguard, so your new nanny is. And you head out the house on your way to work, give the nanny all the details, the feeding times, the sleeping schedule for the kid, give them a couple of bottles of milk for the kid to have. So as you're walking out the door, you call a taxi. The taxi gets up to you, but you think he's stopping for you, but he's stopping for someone else. And as you reach to get in the back seat, someone got in it from the other side, but your tie got stuck in the taxi extra time. And when your tie got stuck in the taxi, this taxi started moving. And it's just dragging you across the curb for a couple of minutes. And then he finally stops at the next stoplight. And you're sitting there, bruised and beat up. And you get up and you're like, man, I'm suing.
Finally getting your composure. You get your tie unstuck from that long taxi drive. You look down and realize what could be worse, and you see you stepped in dog poo. So you decide to go without shoes. Go to work barefooted. You finish out the day. You're like, man, what could be better than seeing my sweet new baby born? And you do just that. And then from here on out, life is good. A few years pass. You're slowly seeing this baby growing up. You're like, man, what did I do to deserve this? You know, it wasn't that long ago. Here I am homeless. Now I'm here raising this fine young boy. I think he's a boy. Yeah, it's a boy. Seeing the man that he's becoming.
So, now that your boy's at least of age to be in middle school, I'd say around about the 7th grade, he has friends, and sometimes the friends come over to the house. He tells you about his friends. You know, he asks where his mom is, but you don't really know what to tell him. And you don't want to tell him that you're not his dad either. So you listen to your son any chance you get. So he's telling you that one of his friends hurt his feelings pretty bad. He said that he was supposed to help him go out with this girl, but instead his friend betrayed him and went with her instead and said that he smelled like poo.
Skip card. Alright.
So once you heard your son tell you this, you say, oh, once you heard your son tell you this, you were furious. You wanted to teach that little kid a lesson, but you knew that you couldn't. So you went to the gag shop and bought a joke gift to give his friend to get back at him. It was a pack of gum that said it was never ending flavor. But it was actually full of live spiders. So your son gives this boy this gift and he gets bit by a spider. He gets pretty hurt and the principal calls you. She said, your son told me that you gave him this gift to give this boy and it was full of spiders. Yeah, they weren't poisonous. What about it?
So to keep you from getting sued for being the guardian, you had to buy the child who got bit by spiders something nice. You had to donate so much money to his college fund and buy him, heck, a limbo when he gets older. Who knows? Kids these days. So you go out there, you fork all that money, and you finally had to tell the kid, look, it wasn't my money, so good job. Positive reinforcement for your kid doing bad. That is a horrible parenting structure that you did, but it wasn't your kid, so you take care. Let's go bad. I shouldn't be a parent.
Fast forward a couple years, your kid's now a teenager, probably a junior in high school, around that age that kids start to get rebellious. So you're living day to day, going to work every day, coming home to your teenage kid. You know how teenagers are, and if you're a teenager, you know how you are. And it just feels like you're stuck in limbo. You don't know what's going on, every day feels the same. But then, get this, then the mysterious man, after all these years, comes back to check up. He wants to know how the boy's doing, what his grades are like. And you ask him, you know, I never did ask you, whose child is this and where did he come from?
Oh God. Oh God. Alright. Gosh dang it. And he tells you the son is actually Zeus's child. And he's actually one day will be called Hercules. But he has not yet claimed that name. So until then, he wants you to raise him to have an average kid's life until his calling is called upon him. So you do just that. A few years go by, he end up meeting a girl, marrying her, have a kid, and there you are, raising this kid just like you raised it. And through all the pukes, all the screams, and all the dirty diapers, you stuck through it all to honor the old man for helping you out in your time of need.
Just when you thought that you were done, you finally lived a good life. Took care of 2 kids. You go to the bar one night to celebrate your retirement. You get out of the car, walk into the bar, have a couple drinks, you go outside, and you see this limo pull up. You're thinking, who could this be? We're in a big city, it could be anybody. It could be someone famous. But no, out of the limo hops a lot of angry dwarfs. And they beat the ever-living mess out of you, and you can't understand why. But they said that they were friends of that one kid that you send that pack of spiders to. And he was getting his payback after all these years. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
And you sit there, you think you're defeated. You're laying on the ground, bloody nose, and you're like, man, the kid I raised is Hercules. If he can get up and fight all these mythical creatures, he can too. So you bury up the strength, you get back on your knees for the same height, and you start fighting those dwarves for your kid. That's right, at this point, all these years you focus on him. He is your kid, because anyone can be a dad, but not everyone can be a father. And that's, by God, that's what you are. You're a father, and you start fighting for your kid, and you win easily, because they're half the man you are.
When you get back to your house, you can't wait to tell your son what you did to honor him. But by this time, your son is Hercules now. He's taking on his mantle. He's on Mount Olympus or something like that. So you can't figure out how to get a hold of him. So you know what you do? You do what you always knew to do. You go in the kitchen, you go to the blender, and you make the milkshake that brings all the boys to the yard. And once you make that milkshake, there he is, standing in your yard with all of his new friends. And it brings a tear to your eye. And you said, I knew this milkshake would bring all the boys to the yard. And dang right, it's better than yours.
Oh boy, did it bring the boys to the yard, indeed. But it also brought the IRS. That's what you get. Yeah, you're living in a mansion. You think you're getting free food, free money, free food. You know, where's the government's cut? That's right. Uncle Sam is not happy with you or Hercules, and they don't back down from nobody. And there you are, Hercules and his friends versus the IRS and Uncle Sam. You guys duke it out. Which one will win? Hercules, son of Zeus, or America, Uncle Sam?
You're sitting there surrounded by the IRS. They also have the FBI with them, just in case you try to get rowdy. And you can't think of anything that you could do in the situation that could get them off of you. But your son Hercules had an idea. He's seen it back when he was younger, and he said, this will bring peace to the world back then. And you said, son, I don't believe that's gonna work. But today he said, he looked back to you and he said, Dad, I'm gonna prove you wrong. And you're like, about what? He said, don't worry about it. Out of his back pocket, he pours out a single chicken nugget. And he says, the first man to take this from my hand gets to arrest my dad.
Everyone was pleased with that announcement except for good old Uncle Sam. You know, Uncle Sam, he's all about that money. You know, freedom and money. You know what I mean? Good old America. And he goes, I'll tell you what, he goes, I'll call back my boys for a little bit of money. And you ask, how much you want? He said about $350. So you call up your best friend in the world, J.G. Wentworth.
877
Cash now. And he hurried up and delivered right there on the spot, instantly, $350. You pay Uncle Sam that, and they walk away. No bloodshed.
And as you got to thinking why he wanted $350, you realized that wasn't Uncle Sam at all. It was actually a 6-story tall crustacean from the Paleolithic era, known as the N.A.D.S. monster. But you know where to find this man. You know where to find old Nessie. So you go there, because you're a jack of all trades. You know how to track, find, destroy, kill, and everything in between. You said, I will find you, and I will kill you. And that you did. You killed old Nessie, you got back your $350, you got back all the $350s that the N.A.D.S. monster stole from everybody in the world. Everybody. Except
I lost attention to what you said. Some GG. So it was all said and done. Hercules, your boy, you and him finally reunited. He thanking you for all the times you raised him. He goes, man, I wish there was a way to repay the debt that you gave me. And you try telling him, like, your dad first reached out to me. He helped me in my time of need. But that wasn't good for Hercules. He goes, so I'll tell you what. He goes, why don't you come live with me in Olympus? He goes, I'll even let you ride my trusty steed, Pegasus. And there you and him hop on Pegasus and ride off to Olympus and live happily ever after.
brings a tear to my eye. Such a wholesome story.
I know it, man. Start from the beginning. What a story.
What a story. Very wholesome.
All right, well, that's our story for tonight.
We'll see you next time on Not Another Dreamy Story. N.A.D.S for short.
Good night.
Hello, it's me, Uncle Sam, and I'm gonna need about $3.50. Either that, or I'm gonna have to stick the IRS after you. Or we could settle this for you liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and then go ahead and comment down below what your favorite part of the story is. We would love to hear from you. Until next time.